Hey, 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 this is Chazz Says Anything. Okay. Let me, you like what you see? We're here. Click the subscribe button on the bottom right corner. So I apologize. Last week I was a little under the weather. Couldn't, I don't want to mess up my voice. Hopefully this, sounds a little better. I do have two microphones. I told a couple of people, apparently two microphones are on my. I have one actual mic and another one that's on the camera. Hopefully, it doesn't mess up the sound. I do apologize if it does. You guys can tell me if it does or doesn't. Like I said, I was a little sick last week. I've gotten better over the week, and I'm now on vacation from my other job, so I'm starting to get better. People that saw me at work last week, that I had my mask on early in the week because I didn't want anybody sick. So, but I'm feeling much better. I want to thank my kids for that. They can go to camp every week, and who knows what they gave me. So, and they gave Beth too, because now she's still feeling it a little bit. So, anyway, we do have breaking news. I'm not sure if anybody's seen this yet. Dalvin Cook has signed or will sign a 1-year deal to join Breece Hall and Aaron Rodgers on the New York Jets. So I'll get into this more as I talk about the Jets, but I just saw this come up on everything, and at least on NFL.com, and that's big news for the Jets. And like I said, we'll get into that in a little bit. What I want to start the show off with, and they started playing around 7:30. My guess, I don't have the game on at the moment. I'll watch the game later. Yankees are 60-58 going into tonight's game against Atlanta in Atlanta. And honestly, if I look to see who is pitching tonight, if it's not Garrett Cole, I'm not, as thrilled. Okay, you know what? It's Clark Schmidt. And right now, he's given up 4 runs, make it 4 runs. Excuse me. And an inning and 2/3 already. And it's 4-2 Atlanta Braves. I mean, the last time I talked about them, it was a couple days before I went to the game. I went to the Houston game against the Yankees about 2 Thursdays ago. And they looked good. I don't know, from what I saw, I mean, they were into it. They were into every at bat. They were solid. And they won the game. I mean, Clark Schmidt, the one bad point was Wandy Peralta, and he gave up that home run on the second pitch of the game after coming in for Clark Schmidt. That's the only blemish that I saw when I was when I was sitting in the stands. I mean, and then we won that game. Volpe, he whatever his averages, and I get his averages a lot. He's a 200 batter. I'm about to call. I get he's a 200, 220 batter. He's going to come around. Yankee fans need to give this kid a break. He's not as bad as everybody thinks he is. He's going to be, if not mini Jeter, he will be Jeter. Give him the chance. It's just a matter of time. He's got the gusto. He's got everything. Let this kid develop. And like I said, right now the Yankees are coming up with Judge, Torres, and Stanton, so that maybe we can do something in the whatever inning we're in now. I can't even tell. It looks like the third. So 60-58, that's not good. The one thing I've been saying, and I will say it again, I will state this again, they need to go on a run. Flat out, go on a 10-win, 12-win, 14-win game-winning streak. They need this. It's do or die. You don't make the playoffs, guess what? Aaron Boone's not staying. He will be the scapegoat. Hand over fist. I'm telling you, I in my mind, my thoughts, people I've talked to, people who disagree with me to an extent, but there's not many that disagree on Aaron Boone. He's going to be the scapegoat. If he is, obviously, then who is the next to be the manager? And that's to be seen. It could be. I'd love to see, Don Mattingly. Get him out of Toronto. Bring him to New York. I don't know if they'll do that. With what's been said about, I don't want to fire a legend, but as other people in media have said, you can't worry about firing a legend before you hire him. You just have to let him do his job. You have to go by what he's done in where he's done. And Don Mattingly, for me, is top of the heap right now. You could do multiple guys. I mean, Mariano Duncan's in our system, from what I understand. Our system or the Met system, one or the other. He's a viable possibility. You could bring in Tino. You could bring in John Flaherty. I mean, there's a number of guys that can do this. Hell, even our hitting coach. Oh my God, how did I forget his name? Whoever our hitting coach is, who we just brought in. Chavez, I think. No, that's not. It's not Chavez. He could be the next manager. Honestly, that's really all I got to say about the Yankees. I mean, their pitching besides Cole has been solid. I know Cole wasn't solid last night. He had probably his worst outing, and he still went 8 innings pitching. They're hard to watch. I'll grant you that. If you're there in the stadium, they're easy to watch because there's always something to do. There's always something to see. If you look at my Facebook post from August 4th or 3rd or whenever I went, if you are friends with me on Facebook, you saw tons of pictures and more than a few videos. There's a lot to do. There's a lot of fun. It's a great time if you can go. I've only gone more than a handful of times in my lifetime, and I'm lucky. I've not always had to pay for it. I got gifted one way back when in 2012. Jack Curry, gifted me 2 tickets way back when, and I love the man to this day. I'll never forget what Jack Curry did for me. And I tell you, to go to a game is one of the best things you could possibly do. Whether you're a Yankee fan, Met fan, Oriole fan, hell, they're doing amazing right now. So they just need to get on a run, flat out get on a run, and be the team that they're supposed to be. The team that's the second, number 2 paid team in the league. So now, I mean, with their depth chart, I mean, I went away from that. Like I said, I'm not big on their depth chart past Cole, but you got Schmidt, Burrito, and apparently Randy Vasquez. He's from the bullpen, but he can start. They need to somehow get Severino off the team. He's done. They got to get him off. I know Montas is hurt, and Rodon's back to being hurt, and so is Cortez. When Rodon and Cortez come back, they need to let Severino go. I mean, and Montas, if he ever comes back, I mean, that was just a wasted trade, if I remember correctly. I think we traded for him from the A's. Bullpen, we don't look bad. Maybe they get overused, but there's a lot of good arms. So I can't fault the Yankees on anything there because they got a bunch of good arms. And Middleton's not bad. The one trade they had, Kenny Middleton, he's not that bad. He's formidable at the very least. And they should be able to do something with their pitching. You get the pitching back, we should be able to be in any game. It's just we just got to do it. Period. We have to win 20 of the next 30, 20 of the next 25. I don't know if they can do it, but we'll see. And they're hitting. Well, yeah, it's really their outfield. They can't get a consistent outfield. Besides Judge, and Bader, he's not as consistent as he should be. He does hit here from time to time. But you're throwing IKF over there. You got Billy McKinney. You got Oswaldo. And some of them are playing in the infield, too. Yeah, I tell you, they need to drop Donaldson. He's on the IL 60. Get him gone. He needs to go, too. And I'll get to it in a little bit, but from what I've seen, it just popped up today from Brian Hawk on MLB.com Yankees, that there is a future, especially going into next year, that a lot of these outfielders that are on the team right now may not be on the team with the next three. And I'll get to that. So, let's see. So, Mets. I got to talk about the Mets. Hold on, let me get a drink, because I got to talk about the Mets. 53-65, and they're still the number one ranked team when it comes to payroll. Even after trading the two pitchers they traded, they're still the number one. And I get that they're retooling and they're moving on to next year. I don't buy the 2025. 2024 is the year. So, and they're home with Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's not bad, but they should try. These guys have enough on the team to win. I mean, I will say their pitching staff is minus Senga is AAA, and I hate to say that about Quintana, but Quintana hasn't done anything and Peterson, I think, has done more. Beth, my fiance, will tell you that Peterson's done more. I mean, Peterson's up and down, and he'll give you 6 innings of 0 runs, and then next game he'll give you 6 innings of 8 runs. So, I mean, that's the issue. The starting pitching is the issue. They will fix that, I suspect, down the road. Now, their bullpen, I don't know who they are. You got guys like Brooks Raley. Okay, Brooks Raley, he's their ace of the bullpen. He's not their closer. He's probably their setup guy, and his closer is either Ottavino or Smith. But Coonrod, Hartwig, G-O-T-T, Bickford, Miller, Tyson Miller, never heard of them. These are all AAA guys. I have no doubt. I mean, their numbers. Tyson Miller, 67. Trevor Gott is 33. That's an interesting number. Hartwig, 93. Coonrod, 45. Brooks Raley, like I said, he's the stud. He's the one that's probably going to get re-signed. Mets, I think they know they're done. Fans know they're done. I haven't seen too many Mets anything. I mean, I know I got Mets fans and friends of mine that are wrangling on the Yankees because they know their team is done. And that's fine. Mets fans want to be Mets fans. I go back to when I went to a Mets game with my fiance. I went to see them with coworkers of mine, with my kids. And they're playing Dodgers or somebody, and the Mets won. It was pitcher who was not on the team anymore. He's on the Phillies. He was pitching and had 6 shutout innings. Won the game like 6-1 or something like that. Really good game. No, I mean, the worst part of that game was they kicked the guy out behind us because he was doing, putting shirts over his head, one shirt at a time, because it was a free giveaway T-shirt, but the T-shirts were only a size large. And this was a very robust guy putting these T-shirts on. I mean, there's video of that on my page too from last year. It's funny. I mean, if you want to go back to my video, if you're friends of mine and you go back to my videos, you see that video. It's funny where he's putting these shirts on. It's hysterical. But he gets kicked out because apparently he was being too disturbing, which didn't disturb my kids. My kids were actually enjoying it too. Nevertheless, so the Mets will figure it out. I mean, I'm not too worried. And that's pretty much it for them. I mean, I might talk about them here and there down the road, but they're pretty much a done deal. So saw this today. Beth actually mentioned it to me on the road. That Derek Jeter will officially be at the Yankees All-Timer Day celebration on September 9th while the Yankees honor the 25th anniversary of the 1998 season. Thank God he's back. I know he's been back already. He was at Judge's captain thing and signing and all that. And he was like when he quit, being the owner of the Marlins. That was the first telltale sign. The others have been the rest of the 96 to 98 2000 Yankees coming back from Miami, coming to the Yankees. The Jorges, the Tinos. I think Bernie's probably going to be back. So they actually had a list. I got an email. Let me go to my email. If I have it. There we go. So a lot of people are going to be at this 75th Old Timers Day. I'll run through a few. Jesse Barfield and Aaron Boone have been there before. Scott Brocious. Let's see, people who might know: Homer Bush, David Cohn, Bucky Dent. A lot of first timers that I don't remember, so they're just filling time, filling spots. It looks like John Flaherty, Ron Guidry, El Duque, Orlando Hernandez, Derek. Thank God he will be there. Like I said, Graham Lloyd. We all remember Graham Lloyd. Tino Martinez, Hideki Matsui will be there. Ramiro Mendoza, I was a stud guy off the bench. Obviously, the wives will be there. Joan Ford, Whitey Ford's wife, Diana Munson, Thurman Munson's wife, and Kay Mercer, Bobby Mercer's wife. They'll all be there. Jeff Nelson, you probably know Jeff Nelson if you're a Yankee fan and you're listening to the Yankees. He's doing games with Michael Kay now. Paul O'Neill obviously will be there. Andy Pettit, Jorge Posada, like I said, the Miami Marlin connection. Tim Raines, might know him as Rock Raines. Willie Randolph, Mariano Rivera will be there. Obviously, they're doing the 98 team, so a lot of the 98 team, including Rock Raines, will be there, but so will Mariano. Luis Soho, Shane Spencer, Mike Stan, Daryl Strawberry will be there. Again, on the team. This guy, I never heard of him, but he was on the 98 team. Jay Tessmer, never heard of him. Hey, Joe Torre will be there, so will David Wells and Roy White. So there's a lot of people September 9th going to be there. It's going to be an interesting watch. Now, what annoys me is that it's not going to be a game. Why get rid of the game? You let the young players play. They've only played 2 innings anyway. Maybe they just thought it'd be too much, especially with bringing it. You could do more of an honoring than anything else. People can get pictures of the players, We'll find out what September 9th brings. I don't know. I'm a little curious of what that entails. I don't really know. But that's going to be fun for me to watch. I don't know. I'm going to have that on my calendar to watch. Okay, so this I saw and I have to talk about. So it's a little further down. I thought it was. Hold on. Oh, no, I think I lost it. Okay, I probably did. So the Yankees have a new number 1 prospect out on the top 30. And one of them I just saw Saturday night, Jason Dominguez. Now, they were playing the Mets AA team, the Rumble Ponies from Binghamton. I believe it's Binghamton. So I will say, seeing him that night, the Binghamton Mets Rumble Ponies must have had like an ace on that night. They one-hit the Somerset Patriots. In my days of going to Somerset and watching the Patriots, and especially now they're being a Yankee team, I've never seen the Patriots get one hit. And the 2 previous games that they played against the Rumble Ponies, they won. If I'm correct, if I'm remembering from Friday night and Saturday night of last week, it was Thursday night and Friday night, 14-0 Patriots and 9-0 Patriots. So whatever they did in those 2 games, they could not bring into the Saturday night game. Again, if you were friends with me, I did a lot of picks. I was actually in a suite. A friend of Beth's from 30 years ago when she did not daycare. preschools, and she was a teacher, and there's a connection there. She had tickets to this suite, and I'm not going to say no to going to a suite, especially when I've never been before. It was awesome. I mean, even this is the first rain delay I've ever been in any of the games I've ever gone, and the fact that there's a rain delay and I could be under something instead of have to run away because I'm in a seat. That was pretty cool for me. So, that was, thank you, Donna, for that. I doubt Donna will ever see this. You never know, and anything's possible. But like I said, there's going to be three outfielders: Pereira, Dominguez, and another one. I wish I could find it. It was on the Yankee. It was on the Yankee one, but I don't know if I kept it. Depth chart. Let me go to the news real quick. Hold on. Could be in the news. There we go. Got it. Okay. Here it is. So, stories excerpted from Brian Hawk's Yankees Beat newsletter. Let me stop this video from coming on. Okay. So there's a new face at the top of the Yankees prospect rankings as Spencer Jones. That's the guy. Spencer Jones continues to make his mark in High A Hudson Valley. 92 games in South Atlantic League. Jones has batted .264, .333, .449 with 26 doubles, 4 triples, 12 homers, and 52 RBIs with 30 stolen bases. That's not bad. And guess what? He's a 6'6" outfielder. So he's got comparisons to Judge. So, and it's been listed on MLB.com. The Spencer Jones is the number 78 prospect. Jason Dominguez is number 79. And Everson Pereira is number 80. So you pick two of those three. And next year, the year after, you put him with Aaron Judge. You knock everybody else out, and you keep Giancarlo Stanton as DH. Do you need anything else? Those three? You put those. So one of those three is going to be the fourth outfielder. Maybe Judge is the fourth outfielder. I don't think that's going to happen. You put Spencer Jones, and I hate to get rid of Bader, but Dominguez is supposed to be that center fielder. I will say, he looked good in the outfield. First time I've ever seen him play the outfield, visually actually seen him. He looked good in the field. Of course, he's short. He's 5'9", but so is Bader. So you know what? That being that, apparently the kid's got some pop. I don't know, but he might be a switch hitter. And Pereira's been up before. He's not been good, but he's been up. So you got those three guys with Stanton, with Judge. Do you need anybody else next year? I don't think so. I mean, do you have to quicken up their pace? Probably. Will Dominguez go into AAA next year and be on the team in 24? Like Volpe? He might. I'll call it. It's possible. So Pereira's already been there. Dominguez probably could be there next year. Spencer Jones? I mean, you got Bader for another year, so you don't have to fast track Jones yet, at least not until 25. I don't want to hold him to 26. I know they might, but I wouldn't want to. So, I mean, we have other guys too, right? Two right-handed pitchers, Chase Hampton and Drew Thorpe. I could have swore I saw one of them pitch on Saturday. And they weren't great. Like I said, they gave up 4 runs, but that wasn't like it was a rout like the other 2 games prior. So, I'm very upbeat about what the Yankees will be. What I'm not sure is when I can be that upbeat. So, all right. Let's get out of baseball. And let's go back to football. But I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to start with the Jets first, since we do have the breaking news. So, the New York Jets just signed Dalvin Cook. I can't say that's a bad thing. I know Reese may not like that, but because it gives time away. But does Reese think he's going to play every, down? No. This could be pretty good. And Dalvin Cook could get red zone touchdowns. He's that good. This changes the Jet. This makes them even better than I even thought they were going to be. And what's the date today? Today is the 14th. So we get to the end of the week. It's the 20th. Next Monday, I will have done a win-loss, loss-win for both the Jets and Giants. I am curious where I'm going to go with this. I have an idea what I'm going to have for both. I know, and I would encourage other people who are football fans to do the same thing. Tell me what they want to, what they think of what I said, and maybe give me what they said, what they think. I do as much, homework as I can, reading and whatnot, looking at notes, looking at news reports, looking at team rosters. I'm in a fantasy football league, and I haven't won yet in the 2 years I've been in. I want to win. It's a good amount of money. I want to win. And the only way to do it is, draft well. You don't have to draft the best, because I tell you right now, drafting the best doesn't always mean you're going to be the best because of injuries. Draft well enough to make it through the first 10 weeks and let the last 8 weeks, be as they may. So that's, with the Jets, I'm actually feeling very positive. I'm actually somewhat more positive than the Giants, and the number one reason is Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, his resume states that he's better than anything on the East Coast, not just New York. Up and down, I don't see another team on the East Coast in the NFC East, NFC West, NFC East, AFC East, and that includes Dallas, because they're technically NFC East. I don't see another quarterback that's better. Even Hurts. And I know I'm going to get it from Philly fans. I'm going to get it from the woman in the next door. Hurts is, he's the best. He made it to the Super Bowl last year. He can run. He can do this. He can throw. Aaron Rodgers has been to a Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers has done it with no defense. Aaron Rodgers has been a back-to-back MVP. He is touching 40, but his presence, and I'll get to this in a little bit after I talk about the Giants. His presence with that team is infectious. His presence with that team will ignite whatever fire needs to be lit under the offense, defense, special teams. The coaches must have been thanking their God, whether they're Muslim or Catholic, whatever, thanking their God that they got Aaron Rodgers in their camp. And you know what? I'll get to it right now. I'll skip to the Giants in a little bit. If you saw the Jets on Hard Knocks after last Tuesday, that was something to watch. That was very interesting. I've watched a couple Hard Knocks here and there, And, the Browns, the Texans, whoever else, they weren't as interesting as this. They weren't as interesting as the beginning of the first episode. This is a team to watch. I'm glad Hard Knocks went to the Jets. It's going to be worth the watch. I tell you, it's killing me. There's so much to watch. I'm trying to watch Winning Time. I'm trying to watch, all different things on Amazon Prime, on Netflix, on Paramount. I got to get to watch 1883. I'm trying to do this in order. Do 1883, 1923, and then Yellowstone. Do the 5 seasons. I'm trying to do all that. But this Hard Knocks, it is definitely taking my attention. And this show is, if you're not a Jets fan, which I'm not, is just as intriguing as if it was your team. Aaron Rodgers, yes, I will say, and some people have said in the past week, that this was very Aaron Rodgers centric. If that's the case, so be it. But that's who you wanted to be on this team. I mean, I'm not going to say there was people that showed up to see Aaron Rodgers. I'm not going to say who. You got to see it to know who was there. This is week 1, episode 1. They were there. People that you wouldn't expect to show up to a preseason or even a training camp showed up. And one was a fan of the Jets. The other, I'll just say this, and if you've watched Hard Knocks, people, to include Aaron Rodgers, have called him, quote-unquote, the voice of God. And it's not Morgan Freeman, because in my mind, that would have been Morgan Freeman. But nevertheless, if you haven't seen Hard Knocks episode 1, see it before tomorrow, because it comes out every Tuesday. I do plan to watch it tomorrow. That's entertaining TV at its core, and that will definitely be on my to watch list tomorrow. Put the kids to bed because I think it's on 10 o'clock if I'm correct. I'll put the kids to bed. I got the kids this week while I'm on vacation. I'll get to that in a little bit, But so yeah, this is something to watch. Flat out, something to watch. All right, let me get to my Giants. They haven't done too much. They haven't, they're nothing bad, nothing good. So they're very ho-hum. They lost their game, their preseason game, and I didn't know the Jets won or lost. I don't care. I don't think they care if they won or lost. Nobody got hurt. No, everybody's okay. They're copacetic. They're la. Daniel Jones, Saquon, he's the man. I don't expect the other foot to drop. I'm trying to be optimistic as a Giants fan. I know Philly's that good. Obviously, my question more than anything else is Dallas. Will they be better than us, or could we be better than them? And I can't discount Washington because honestly, they could throw a monkey wrench into everything. Dallas could be the worst team, and if that's the case, I'm the happiest go lucky person in the world. But that's not. I don't know if that's the case. At least not yet. I mean, down the road, we'll see if Mr. John Flipchuck and who are the crazy Dallas fans out there that think that they're the team, that they'll be number 1, which, we'll see. But my opinion is it can go either way right now. Like I said, things can change in the next 3 weeks. Week 1's going to tell a lot. Dallas comes to us. Week 1 is going to tell a lot. So as long as nobody gets hurt the next 3 to 4 weeks, we should be fine. All right, let's see. It's 8:34, so this is already started. People are probably watching. Oh, that next one. There we go. WWE Raw in Winnipeg. So there's 2 things going on, and I watched Raw last week. I saw it on Tuesday or Wednesday. I watched it. I have Peacock, so I can watch all the back shows. And the one thing that it seems like it's going to be the main event or something of that sort, Becky Lynch is going to face Trish Stratus without Zoe Stark being at ringside. But at some point, I do expect Zoe Stark to be there. If you don't know who Zoe Stark is, she's Trish Stratus's protege. Becky Lynch, if you don't know her, she calls herself the Man. Trish Stratus is probably the GOAT of the women. I mean, that could be a debatable thing because that could be Charlotte Flair. That could be, I don't think it's Lita. No, I can't say Lita. So it's probably Trish Stratus and Charlotte Flair. But Trish really brought the Divas to their peak back in the late 90s, early 2000s. You know, Stratisfaction, everything else. Love Trish. She's my favorite diva all time. This character she's got now, obviously she's the heel. I'm not supposed to like her. I don't think she's going to win. But I still love her. She's, you know, she's the best looking diva I have ever seen. I guess I've been to a show. I think in 2007 she was there. I don't remember if she was there or not. But she, hands down, number one diva, looks wise. You know, Becky's up there, Charlotte's up there, Michelle McCool's up there. Lita's a little farther down. But yeah, Trish Stratus, even to this day. And I'll get, you know who else? Beth Phoenix. She's probably top 5. Beth Phoenix. The Glamazon. If anybody remembers the Glamazon. She's now married to Edge. And she's definitely top 5. I'll do a list of that down the road. You know, I like doing lists. It's one of my things I love to do. I haven't done too much. But I'll definitely do a list down the road. So I do. Oh, real quick too. There is another thing that Shinsuke Nakamura attacked Seth Rollins at the end of their triple 6-man tag match last week at the end of the night. It was a little odd. I'll say that because it was a little tiff between Rollins and Cody Rhodes. They've had their thing going back and forth. And then Shinsuke, they win the match. They beat whoever they beat. I forget. Judgment Day. That's right. Judgment Day, who should lose every match ever. But anyway, yeah, I have it for the Judgment Day. But anyway, the fact that Shinsuke knocked into Rollins, they're going to put that into a story now. So we'll see what happens in Winnipeg. I'll watch it probably tomorrow. My boys love WWE now, thank God. So we'll watch WWE sometime tomorrow, probably during the day. So it's supposed to rain or not be so great. We'll see. If it doesn't rain, we might go out, but we'll see. So I do have this question. I've been seeing this over social media like the last 2 to 3 days. And something must have happened on SmackDown. I haven't seen it, so somebody got to tell me. And I'll probably look it up later. Is Jey Uso really gone from WWE? I watched SummerSlam. I saw what Jimmy did to Jey. He pulled Jey out of the ring when he was about to beat Roman Reigns. I need to know. I've seen it all over Facebook. I've seen it all. That he's going to be at AEW at their pay-per-view this weekend. That would hurt the WWE. I mean, Jey Uso's one of their draws. I get Roman Reigns says he's the top dog. You can't tell me Jey Uso's not one of the up there too. That's from what I've been watching and what I've been researching here and there. The Usos they should be a tag team, tag team in one of the two divisions. I don't get the split. They're not better separate. Like, Edge and Christian could be better separate, especially Edge. Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy could be better separated because one was better than the other. Jeff was better. The problem was he liked drugs too. Jimmy and Jay, they're kind of one. There wasn't a separation with them. Their younger brother, Sikoa, he's the single guy. He could do the singles matches. I bet you he could beat Roman, too. just putting it out there. He could take his title. Well, I'd love to see someone else have it, even if it's Sikoa solo. But Jimmy and Jay need to stay together. And there's also been rumor that Jimmy's going to AEW. That maybe they don't like the storyline. I don't know. I'm curious to watch. I'm curious to see. They're SmackDown guys, so we'll see what happens. I had to watch last week's SmackDown, but someone's got to tell me. I see, obviously, nobody's watching right now. Excuse me. Yeah, I don't see that anybody, is there to help me out on this, but that's okay. But like I said, Raw or SmackDown actually would be really losing somebody if Jey Uso goes to AEW. And good for AEW if they can get them. That they got some really good guys, but there's a lot of old guys there. That's why it's hard for me to watch. The storylines aren't great. I've watched a little bit of AEW. The storylines aren't great. I mean, WWE storylines can get a little jagged, a little weird, but I don't like the lines back and forth of who is what and where. It's not consistent. And maybe that's just me, but it's just not as consistent. So, my throwback Monday movie of the week. I watched this last night with my kids, especially one of my two kids, Hunter, loved Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. It's PG. I gotta try to watch PG shows with them because PG-13, a lot of them are a little too either violent, too many curse words, too many other things that happen. So I'm trying to find movies in the past that essentially my kids might actually enjoy. And this one they did. Especially Hunter. Aiden, he was working on his Lego project, which was fun. But every once in a while he'd see like something on the TV and be like, oh, what's this? Oh, what's this? Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure is probably one of the most underrated video movies of the 90s, period. Obviously, Keanu Reeves, and I really should have IMDb'd this. Why is Casey messaging me? Oh, Jesus. Hunter. Let's see. IMDb. I have to kind of go and see who's in this. I don't remember his name, the Bill S. Preston character. Ted. There we go. I'm not facing music. That was actually very good too, by the way. 1989's Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. It's Keanu Reeves. Alex Winter was his name. Why am I moving too much? There we go. Alex Winter is his name, who plays Bill. Obviously, the late great comedian who played Rufus, George Carlin. A couple other guys. Not many. The guy who played Billy the Kid does not look like Billy the Kid anymore. That's for sure. Genghis Khan still looks like Genghis Khan. Napoleon is bald. That's funny. Okay, Napoleon is bald. Jane Wiedlin. Why does she look familiar? She played Joan of Arc, and I'm trying to remember what she was in. Robotica? Lady Robotica? I don't think I remember that. Oh, that's okay. So that's probably where I remember her. If you remember Joan of Arc from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, you might remember her as the singing telegram girl in the movie Clue with Tim Curry. I forgot about that, but that's what she's known for. Also known for Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home, alien communications officer. So at least it was something. But it seems like she was in a lot of different... Okay, she was in Sex, Lies, and Sugar. That must be something different. I thought that was Sex, Lies, and Videotape, but that was wrong on that. Yeah, nothing big. Yeah, she was not in anything big, but she played Joan of Arc. That was one of her biggest roles. But she does look familiar. I don't know why. Maybe she's a musician at the same time. From Wisconsin, USA. Okay. So let me actually take some things out. Anyway, so like I said, if you can watch with your kids, like I said, my kids are 9, so anywhere from 7 to 12. If they haven't seen Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, I think it's a good watch. I really do. Okay, yeah, okay. Let me say that again. I think if you have any kids from 7 to 12, that you should really sit. If they love movies, sit down and watch them with your kids. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure is worth the watch if they haven't seen it. I do want to go back. That I saw something on Facebook. A friend of mine. So he was talking about the Yankees, and I want to reference something he said. Brad Stratton, a friend of mine from my high school days, he was in Monmouth Regional when I was at CBA. He said, the Yankees are in a free fall. So this is his quote. Sunday's collapse didn't kick off either. Clay Holmes' implosion in the 9th, his last since throwing away a Sunday lead in Colorado, is yet another wheel falling off the spokes in 2023. 44 games left in a 5-game deficit. Making the postseason is improbable. He's absolutely right. Absolutely right. But the way the team has played, it doesn't feel probable. It might be time to look to next year. And I did say that. It's time to look to next year. Especially if we don't make we're that close to not making the playoffs, so what's the point? Just let Boone go. Oh, okay. Remember the batting coach I was trying to remember? He says it. His replacement should be Sean Casey. So it's possible his replacement should be Sean Casey. Hired July 12th. He knows about batting. I heard he was the guy that they were supposed to get back in December. You know why they didn't get him? Because his wife was going through some treatments, and he had to be with her on a daily basis, could not commit to the Yankees. That's why they didn't get Sean Casey. And so they got this other guy who obviously didn't do anything with the team, and he goes. So again, Brad goes on. When Boone is replaced by Joe Espada, I don't think so. Brad, you're wrong there. Joe Espada is not the next manager. Dead wrong. Or some staple in the organization. No, you're going to get, he says, William Randolph or somebody like that. It's going to be Willie. It's going to be, like I said, Jorge. It's going to be Tino. It's going to be Don. Don should be on the top of that list. And he even said, this is what he goes to my other point with the top 3 prospects of ours. With 7 top 100 prospects, I question the 7 because there must be other pitching prospects that I didn't see. We'll get to the next crop of baby bombers. The vibes will be high. Everson Pereira will have his own set of bleachers named after him. That's pushing it, Brad. And Pereira hasn't done well already. He needs time. Judge, remember what Judge did? We were reminded of it a couple of days ago, either last night or the night before. Oh, it was last night. Today's the 14th. It was the 13th. Aaron Judge in 2017 comes up for his first at-bat in the 7th inning. Pinch hit. What does he do? Home run. Boom. Over left center field. You're not going to get better than Aaron Judge. And Everson Pereira is not there. He's way closer to Bader. He's way closer to Oswaldo Cabrera. He's not getting to Judge. He's not getting to that level, Brad. Nobody's getting seats named after him except for Judge. Just not happening. And there's nothing that really goes with Pereira anyway. Unless he's getting his own talk show like Phil Donahue. Not happening. He also will be a game away from the World Series, and the cash cow chatter will be at an all-time high after 6 years. Our veterans will be decrepit. He's right. Yeah. The team needs to start getting rid of these big the older guys. Like I said, the outfield needs to go. Donaldson needs to go. You know, we kind of have a first baseman, although LeMahieu's not doing that much. You know, so we got somebody. I mean, Bowers could be that person batting first. I don't think that's his deal. Why do we not have it? It used to be the case. Now, maybe don't get me wrong. It used to be center fielders or second baseman were the first batter in the lineup. When did that stop? And I'm not really ranting on that. I do have another rant. When did this stop that these lineups? And I get putting the best hitter in the second spot over the third spot. You want your but that means your best runner, the person who gets on base, your best OPB guy should be your first batter. Is Bowers that guy for the Yankees? No. Make that Volpe. Make that Pereira. Not Pereira. Or Bader. Because Glaber, you have to put him down. Second base, you got to put him down farther because he can pop. Ricky Henderson was your OPB guy. He hit home runs, but he was your OPB guy. I mean, seriously. I mean, Brad brings up some good points, salient points. I should like it, actually. I mean, very salient points. But he's comparing Hal Steinbrenner to John Mara, and they're two different sports with two different types of organizational things you got to do. I won't compare. That's like literally comparing apples to oranges. They're in the same group, but they're not the same thing. It's not the same. So, and he says, call this being negative if you want. Until things change, we're probably doomed to repeat history. Damn straight. You're doomed to repeat history if you don't fix what was wrong. I absolutely agree with that. Now, speaking of things that need to be fixed, here's my rant of the week. So, like I said before that, and two weeks ago when I did my last podcast, I was going and I went to the Yankees-Astros game. This past Saturday, I went to the Rumble Ponies Patriots game in Somerset. Both Yankees teams, okay, AA and obviously the Major League team. Yankees fans, this is to you. Yankees fans who buy these jerseys with the name on it. I don't want to call you frauds because you're not a fraud. You're a fan. What you are is you're not a logical, traditional thinking fan. What the Yankees have been since day one in 1920, whatever. They didn't have names on the back of the jersey. You knew who they were. Tell me who 1 is. Tell me who 6 is. Tell me who 3 is. We all know 3. We all know 4. And we know 5. He dated Marilyn Monroe. I see these parents buy these jerseys for their kids. It's one thing if you do it for yourself, then you're not a traditionalist. You don't know, either you don't know any better or you're ignoring the fact that there's a tradition. I refuse to buy any jersey that has a name on the back. If I don't know the number, I'm not buying the number. As a Yankee fan, that's what I do. Maybe I'm being too conservative. Maybe I'm being too traditional. When I was a young Mets fan, I didn't know much better. Back in 1984, 85, 86, 87. 87, I was 10 years old. I didn't know any better. I didn't know tradition. I didn't know anything. I didn't know my favorite baseball players, Dwight Gooden and Darryl Strawberry, were coaching it up. I didn't know this. I just knew they could play baseball. I knew I wanted to play baseball like them. But guess what? I grew up. I learned things. I learned about tradition. When I switched over to the Yankees, because both Darryl and Dwight did go to the Yankees in the mid-90s, that was taught to me. The Yankee tradition is Yankee tradition. Something skipped in the early 2000s. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's parenting. I don't know if it's it's beyond me to what it actually is. I'm going to continue to rant on this probably till the day I die. You know, I would hope that the powers that be at New York Yankees would hear me to stop selling this stuff. You know, let the whatever sports authorities, or now I'm dating myself, or the Dick's Sporting Goods sell their own jerseys that are not market jerseys, that are not New Era or whatever, whoever's making these jerseys. You know, let them sell the jerseys that are not, and then we'll know who is the not, you know, not the right jerseys. I would love for them to stop. They're not going to because of marketing and money. But if people stop buying it, they wouldn't make it. Somehow, some stupid person in the Yankees brass, in the marketing or whatever they do to, you know, move their brand and move their stuff, to say, oh, we can put names on the back. Yeah, the T-shirts, that's fine. I got a dozen of them. It's T-shirts. It's not the jersey. It irks me to no end. This weekend, Beth saw the kid before I did. And she goes, oh boy. And I said, what? I said, she saw before me. She knew what my reaction was going to be. And at Yankee Stadium? Like, to some extent, I kind of... It's, again, I blame the parents. I don't blame the kids. The kids don't know any better. My kid does. Hunter, who is my Yankee fan, knows he can wear the T-shirt. Knows if he ever gets a jersey, there's not a name on the back. There won't be a name on the back. I am that passionate about this. It's no joke to me. I don't hold too many things that close to the vest when it comes to conservatism. That's one of them. All right. Now that I'm probably lost my voice again, let's go to some birthdays, because that's what I want to do. I want to celebrate some birthdays of people that I know. So, buddy from a long, long time ago, I haven't seen him in a while. Mr. J. Carr is a former bowling teammate of mine at first Bradley Beach, which I believe he's still there, and Strathmore, which I don't think he comes up anymore. He's a Ocean Grove resident, long time now, and he's 62 years old, 62 years young, actually. You know, I know a lot of people down there love that man, and he's a good guy. Another person who I've known for a long time through actually my second marriage. I knew her as well as currently last year, Carrie Salerno. It's her birthday today. I know her for her birthday's on Facebook, but it's not my thing to say what a woman's age is on social media. You know, that's not necessarily right. The men, we don't care. I know we don't care. I don't care that I'm 46. It is what it is. And but I know the women don't like to shout out what their age is. Some do, some don't. And you know, if you know Carrie, you know what her age is. You're friends with her on Facebook. And then my buddy, lastly, Ian Walker from Cary. I believe he's in his early 30s. He's a young guy who, he's got I believe 9-year-old, 10-year-old son. Good family. He's a big basketball Miami Heat fan. So I don't know if I'll ever watch this. I'll probably talk basketball later, so maybe I'll coax him to watch at some point. But he's a Miami Heat fan. Loves his Heat, and we talk about Knicks and Heat all the time. So, all right, so we got some celebrity birthdays, too. So if you know these celebrities, you might be interested. Love her. Mila Kunis, whatever you want to say. 40 years old today. Oh, man. She is one of the hottest actresses in, Hollywood today. Married to Ashton Kutcher. Her I don't want to say long time love, but obviously the guy that she was with on the 70s show. Halle Berry, 57 years old. She's obviously one of the biggest actresses in Hollywood. She was one of the Catwomen. Obviously one of the top 3 sexiest Catwomen too, I will say. And I think I did a list on that, and Halle was on it. Magic Johnson, 64 years old. Go figure. If you remember from 1992 when he came out and said he had HIV, and he's been able to last all this time since 1992. Magic Johnson today is 64 years old. Kofi Kingston is probably on right now on Raw with a New Day, which we got to give a shout out to Big E. Big E had to retire. He's medically not cleared to come back to wrestle. It broke my heart when I heard it. I didn't put it up as one of the things. It's just something that hurts me in my heart. With Big E, he was always a staple of that three-person team, of the New Day. Kofi Kingston and his trumpet blaring Xavier Woods is the other guy. So Kofi turns 42 today, so he's 4 years younger than me. Steve Martin, probably one of the top 5 SNL comedians, hosts. Anyway, he wasn't a regular, but as a host, he was probably one of the top 5 SNL hosts of all time. I mean, he is a comic genius, period, and exclamation point. There's not many better than him. Seriously. I mean, Parenthood, I still remember one of his best movies where he's the dad of these crazy kids, crazy wife. It was absolutely insane what he had to go through in that, and he did that comedy perfectly. I mean, what else? He's been the Pink Panther. He's in that show now with Martin Short and I forget her name. One of the I think she's non-binary now, if I'm correct. I don't know. I forget the girl's name. She's not something that she's not in my wheelhouse. So another one, celebrity that most college, maybe NFL people know. I'd even go as far to say as the Christian community knows. Tim Tebow, 36 years old. And if you know, he's got that kneel down pose. If you ever see it and someone yells out, "Hey, he's Tebowing," that's where it comes from. He used to do that. And last but not least, Miss 227 herself, Jackie Harry, 67 years old. And second to last, like I've been doing for the last couple shows, movies and shows that were released on this day, August 14th. Dora the Explorer came out 23 years ago in 2000. Go figure. Dora the freaking Explorer. Straight Outta Compton, great movie. One of the best movies of 2015. Came out in 2015. Ted Lasso, never seen the season 1, season 2, and I think they're doing season 3 now, or it's already out. I hear it's really good, and obviously, as I've said, I have so many things to watch to begin with, and there's only so much I can do. So that will be one of them down the road. And then lastly, the weakest link. Back in 2000 as well, obviously on a different channel as Dora the Explorer. The weakest link, I mean, one of the possible two shows I could be on, I feel I could be on as a contestant. You know, the weakest link is one and Wheel of Fortune's the other. I watch Jeopardy almost every night though, and I know I can never be on that. I would embarrass myself. You know, out of all the game shows, that's the one I'd love to do, but I'd be embarrassed to no end unless I got sports and TV shows and movies all in the same Jeopardy round. You give me something like that, I can probably do something. Last but not least, like I said from earlier ones, I didn't change this. Hold on a second, I can change this. Let me get it. So it's actually a little different. And I think we're let's see. We're less than 38 days. I just need to see it. It's probably in 14, so it's probably 24. I'll say 24 or 23. There we go. That's done. Perfect. There we go. That's more accurate. So, my confidence pool on poolhost.com. Like I said, if you want in, if anybody who doesn't know me, but they want in, my email is chazzroyalty@gmail.com. chazzroyalt@gmail.com. Email me, give me your name, phone number, obviously your email, so I can contact you for obviously the details of the pool and what you need to know. Like I said, there's 23 days left. I have 20 confirmed. I had 37 last year. It's going a little slower than I wanted, but honestly, I'm going to say this. If you want in, get in fast, get in now. The last couple days before week one starts are crazy days for me. I have my fantasy league pool draft on Tuesday, the 5th. So that's, that hinders me a little bit. That's 2 hours out of my life right there that I have to be there for. And like I said earlier, I want to win. There's nothing stopping me this year. I need to be there near the end. I got my buddy already busting my what. I found something on Facebook about, I could probably get on Amazon, being the loser of a fantasy football league. And you could get a flag that you could hold up and, wear, or a belt that says worst player in fantasy football. I thought that was funny, but he's now getting my goat saying, yeah, you're going to have to get something big enough to fit around my waist. I'm like, okay. Yeah, I said, I do my studying. I know. It ain't happening, Tim. And I know Tim's not going to see this, at least I don't think so, unless I show him. A viewer, I appreciate the coming on. There is an hour and 9 minutes prior to this, so there's a lot that I said tonight. So, like I said, any intake, if you like what you see or hear, click the subscribe button on the bottom right corner. This is Chazz. It's been a blast. We're now midway through August, and this is where the fun begins. Have a good one, guys. See you on the flip side, probably next Monday. Peace out.